You've got two advantages if you ask me. One, you have an independent mind. You think your clarity of thoughts impresses me. The other one is that you had been a leader, you had been a captain. So, captaincy, um, there's that one common thing that possibly you and I have. Though I had been a sports lover, I've played a lot of games, a lot of sports, not at the level that you played. But coincidentally, I represented the country in one sport. I was part of the junior national team in bridge. So that was when I was in college. But in the leadership, if you have to talk about leadership, Mithali, what is that leadership quality that you think which gave you that edge while you were leading the team? What did you do as a leader?
I believe the style of my leadership is walk the talk. I would do what I would want my team to do. So first, as a leader, I would want to do that and say that, okay, this is possible. And I would want my players to follow suit. And that is where you earn respect, because I don't think any of us would follow a leader who doesn't set an example. And
Right.
that is
You
the
command
best
respect.
way to gain respect of your teammates. And that's also the best way to influence them. So, times when we have a long journey and we have to be on time for training, I would be the first person, maybe 10 minutes early. So they know the captain is there. So we have to be there. So these are the smaller things that even a young player, when they come into the team for the first time, they're always very observant. As a young player, I would be observing what my seniors are doing. So if you are setting a culture, a standard of how you carry yourself on the field and off the field, that is something all your teammates will look up to you.
In the context, I must tell you as a leader what I do, if you could relate with it, that as a leader, one of the main responsibility that I have is that I have to make decisions. I have to take calls. And that even you had to do. You are the one who is taking decisions. Then the other one is that I'll have to give them the guidance, the roadmap, and I have to step in when they fall short of what's expected out of them. And then another important thing, which possibly you just now said that you did that by example, that as leaders in corporate world, we manage men. So management is nothing but managing men. So you got to manage people, which is what you said, that you got to motivate people to give their best onto them. But you had an advantage that you were in touch with all your team members. So in a corporate world, we always don't have that. We never have that advantage that we have. We are in touch
But then
with
how
all.
do you then be a very effective leader? What are the things that you would do if you're not able to be in touch with your team? Like here, obviously, I have them during the camp on the field training. But say you just said that you don't necessarily have them around. Don't you think that can sometimes breed um, things not so great for a team environment? And how do you, as a leader, then manage things?
So what happens, like unlike in your field, where the leader and the rest of the team, in corporate world, you have hierarchies. So there are the set of people report into some person who's their leader, immediate leader. Then the leader would have, then there's another set of leaders would report to another leader who would be their leading boss. And then finally, so that's how we make these steps, we make this corporate organogram. That's how the leadership percolates down. And that's how the organization, like a large organization like ours, where we have 3,500 people run efficiently. So that's slightly different between your leadership and
But I
our
think
leadership.
overall, it definitely reflects the fact that we are all dependent on each other at every
Absolutely,
level. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. It's a the team.
Yeah.
Finally, like the captain is as good as the team. You know, I distinctly remember one incident. Like if you say Ricky Ponting was one of the best captains ever, but he had the best team. The moment when
But
the
that
team,
is also very challenging when you have a team full of stars. To lead a team of full of stars is far more challenging than having a team with maybe a couple of stars.
yes, that is another interesting point. I always used to think that way, that Saurav Ganguly was one of the most successful captains that India had ever produced. I think one of the reasons that he had the fortune of having many demigods in the team, like Tendulkar, like Dravid, like Kumble. None of them wanted to become a captain. So he had that luxury that he'd got stalwarts, he'd got
Yeah.
world-class players playing for his team, but they don't want to be the captain. They're fine being part of the team. Tell me something. How do you draw that line, that the slight difference between you can win and you will win? So like in the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win? And if you say let's go and win, does it come into the domain or in the territory of overconfidence?
I tell them to put in efforts, to give their best, in whatever way that they can give their best. Not everybody are skillful, not everybody are emotionally there. Everybody have their own demons that we have to fight on the field. The fear or performance anxiety, whatever it is. But everybody's best is important. You put in the effort.
Okay, so you don't really tell your team to go and win, but you tell your team
We
to
have that notion when we arrive into a tournament, not during the match.
not
Because what
during the
happens
match.
is
Okay,
during the
excellent.
match, you need to focus on
Your performance.
playing to the situation, because what is right there, that is what is taught to us. You got to be in the moment, and in the moment is when you are batting, you have to play according to the situation. Or if you are a bowling side, you know that the batters are having a partnership and how to break that. If you constantly think we have to win, you wouldn't do exactly what is supposed to be done at that moment, which can then take you to the result.
So you play by the moment, overcome the challenges that they come to you,
Yes.
but you know that what's
But
the
yes,
end game.
the purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win, not to
That's
participate.
excellent. So is there a distinction that you can make as a leader and as a role model? What's the difference between arrogance and confidence? Where is it a blurring line, or there is a line which one crosses over to turn into an arrogant individual from a confident individual?
See, confidence is you still have that little bit of nerves. You've prepared well, and there's still that jittery feeling before getting into bat, like what will happen. Yeah, I will do my best. You're sort of talking to yourself, I've prepared well, I'm going to do my best. And you still have those butterflies, that's confidence. But if you don't feel that, and you think that I'm anyway going to go and do score runs, so that is overconfidence. That is probably I wouldn't say arrogance, but overconfidence. And that usually happens when I did go through that as well in one of those early years. I remember scoring 100 in one of the zonal tournaments, and the next day, immediately the following day, we had a game. So since I scored 100 the other day, I thought I'm going to middle the ball anyways, and I got out on the first ball.
Really?
Yeah. And that is when I realized that what you do today, it doesn't matter tomorrow. It's done for today. It's
It's a
history.
fresh day
It's a
tomorrow.
fresh day. It's a fresh opponent. Everything is fresh. You again have to start from zero.
What was your reaction? Like, again, I would like tend to mention two examples. Like Dhoni was very composed on the field. Had always been as a captain, very limited expressions of emotions. Compared to that, Virat as a captain is completely the opposite. When you captain, what was your natural self, and did you have to work hard not to display your natural self and to conduct yourself in a particular way on the field?
My natural self is I give a very composed outer look, though inside I know there are so many things running in my mind. There are times even I would know, like, what's going to happen. I'm full of nerves, but I would try and camouflage my appearance because that is needed for your own teammates. Because when the things go the other way, like, when it is tough on the field or in a tournament, players look up to the captain. They're always looking at you, even during on the game, during the match. And if you're going to let out your emotions and play to it, then how are you going to motivate them? Because as you rightly said, what I am as a captain is what I would want my team to be. So if I have to set an example, I have to project like everything is fine, everything is in my control. Then the players again think that there is hope, we can turn things around because the captain says so.
So, do you have any example that you would like to share where just by sheer vocal tonic, you actually could motivate the team to rally around you in a way that you snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat? Any example that comes to your mind?
I remember 2014 test match in England. We were playing test match after, I think, 8 years. 2006 was the last test we played as Indian team, and we were playing against England in England. England came back from Ashes. They were Ashes champion. They beat Australia in Australia, so they were very high on that victory test format. And I had like 8 debutants in the squad. Out of 11, there were 8 of them who were making their debut in the most toughest format. And I myself have played it last was 8 years back. So it was very challenging for me as a captain, and also equally challenging as a player, because 8 years gap is too much for someone to play a format.
Mm-hmm.
And as a captain now, I have to actually educate them how to play a test game. So it did really take a lot out of me. And it was a very interesting test match. They thought they will win the toss and put us in because it was a green wicket. Luckily, I won the toss and put them in. And as usual in England, rain plays a part in such formats.
In all the games, yeah.
So whenever there was a rain break, I would sit around and tell them, like, there is a break in the momentum. So now it is going to help the bowlers. So make sure you get a couple of wickets as soon as we walk into field. So those conversations helped them. And I remember the last day we were chasing small total because it was a tight test match, and we had 65 runs to score. The top order was in the dugout. One of our bowlers was injured, so we effectively were 9 batters. And I was playing with another bowler, Shika Pandey. So following was Julian, Niranjana, and Ekta Bisht.
Julian has a maximum number of ducks in
she wouldn't like this if you mention.
No, but just in the context. So there was not much hope there.
Basically, you're like, as a captain, you're in one end, and you have the bowlers that you're going to play to score those 65 runs. You don't have any other batters. Everybody are out in the dugout. And that day in the morning, I woke up and I thought, okay, let me take some confidence from my team. And I saw them at the breakfast. Everybody were pin drop silence to themselves. So I was like, okay, so it's the other way around. It's again the captain who's going to give them the confidence. So we walked into bat and I told Shika, I said, all you have to do is protect your wicket.
Stay there.
I'll do the runs. I'll get the runs. All you have to do is just support me. We can get through this. So she's like, fine, Didi, whatever you say. So when you start talking like this to the players, like, just don't worry, I'm there. All you have to do is simplify things for them. They will understand it much better. And that I've learned over a lot of experience, that in the most tough times or the most challenging times, we complicate our minds so much in finding solutions, but we never think about what is the simplest thing that we can focus on, which can actually make it probably simplify things. Yeah,
absolutely. Very well said.
Duologue with Barun featuring Mithali Raj. Streaming on the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.